This is day 11 of repairing a vintage cassette duplicator, and in a previous episode we identified these cold solder joints. So today we're going to try and get rid of them. I actually took one of the pins out with me by accident when I removed the original header, so that's me putting it back in. And then we're just going to solder it to the contact. I've already reflowed the solder on some of the other cold solder joints here, so I'm just really showing you the end of the process. It took me a couple of attempts to get a nice clean solder joint, but I think by the end of it we did pretty good. Now once I was done, I noticed the board had some of this like gunk on it, so I decided to clean it by splashing some isopropyl alcohol on it and then hitting it with a toothbrush. Now this is likely a combination of solder flux that's left over from the original factory process and just, 40 odd years of gunk buildup. Either way, the isopropanol seems to have done a pretty good job. Here's how both of the boards look prior to installation. You'll see that I did some work off camera to clean them up. They're looking a hell of a lot better than they looked prior. And then all that's left to do is to put it back in the machine. One of the great parts of documenting the process for you guys is it means that I have an archive of everything I've done leading up to this point. So I referred back to some of my earlier footage to show me how to reassemble this. It means I'm way less likely to make a mistake, which is a resource that I find myself wishing I had on some of my previous builds. With the unit reassembled, it's time to plug it in and see if fixing those cold solder joints has made any difference to the functioning of the machine. I'm going to save that for tomorrow's episode though, so be sure to follow for more.